I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. Welcome. I'm trying to decide if I want to chance this. All right, so let me just explain. People were confused because I'm, doing my best to shorten my shows, which has been exceedingly challenging, in hopes that I'd get more viewers if I had shorter shows. But as far as I know and can see, it's not making any difference. So people were confused because I was calling this an hourglass, but it's a half an hour. But I don't know what else to call it, because whoever heard of a half hourglass? But this is an actual hourglass. It doesn't seem very stable. So we'll try it and see what happens. The news is just making us all crazy. I know that it's a test of how deeply you can breathe. So we got the watermelon. We got the watermelon going on. I wish I had some real watermelon at the moment. I will probably have some when I get home. So speaking of things heating up, there's a lot that's heating up, especially for Donald Trump, and that's been going on for a long time now. So we're ready for some action, right? We're ready for some action. We're ready for some legal action. Just FYI, I'm going AC free. I'm going AC free. How much do you want to bet that's going to topple over? I'm going AC free for the summer to keep myself in a knowing. I'm not telling you guys to do this. I'm just a little crazy. Plus, it's not as hot here as it is in most places by about 20 to 30 degrees. I don't want to be in denial that the planet is heating up. So for me personally, I'm doing the summer without AC. Today, we're doing all right. It hasn't been in the 90s, put it that way. I earlier was scoping out places to do a live stream outside, and then at the last minute I decided that would just be too complicated for tonight. But in the future, we'll be doing a live stream from outside by the ocean. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. Yes, Joe Biden passed student loan debt relief to a smaller extent than what he wanted. We know the Supreme Court, the majority of the Supreme Court hates to help people, so, and isn't really that into the Constitution that they swore an oath to protect. But anyway, so Joe Biden is knocking it out of the park. Ron DeSantis is falling fast. I don't care what he says. This isn't going to work. I gotta switch. Okay, we're going to call it a half hourglass. And halfway through I'll be doing my commercial. Yeah, that works better. So Ron DeFascist is falling fast. And it's really striking to me how much he doesn't seem to understand that most people don't want to be the cause of someone else's suffering. Can I get a witness? Most people don't want to see others suffer. You're welcome. I'm glad you're here. Let me just fix the chat. Most people don't want to be the cause of someone else's suffering, and Ron DeFascist is banking on that. He thinks 113 degrees. Oh, jeez. Ron DeFascist is literally investing in, I can get people to hate one another, and I can get people to bully one another. This is Ron DeFascist's thinking. He really thinks that he can win a presidential election on hatred. Warren, I didn't even have to see your name and I saw it was you. I knew it was you. Oh, great psychic. Hang on. It's good to have you back. Was Joe Biden a founding father in a previous life? When I tune into Joe Biden, you guys are funny. When I tune into Joe Biden, I see his past life, and I think it probably was Ireland. I see a past life as a king who had an unfortunate end. Anyway, so work for Trump, they're going for the hatred. Anyway, bouncing around. Warren's asking about was Joe Biden one of the founding fathers? I'll tell you who I feel like were founding fathers in a bit. Just remind me. But on the topic of Ron DeFascist, I don't see his campaign lasting through next month. I just don't see it. I look at the campaign trail and I don't see it. And whenever I think about Trump on the campaign trail, all I see, and it's not because we're having this entire heat dome, horrible heat. It's not just because of that. When I think about Trump, I just see him like really bothered by the heat. And I think it's a combination of the stress heat and the physical environment heat. Now, you know he's got AC, right? But Trump just feels really heated up to me. That might be indicative of high blood pressure. And I'm sure, you know, like stress isn't really good for the blood pressure. So everybody take a deep breath. It's not good for your blood pressure to get all stressed out, especially in the heat. Ron, let me grab the pendulum. We're gonna douse. Hey, Joan. On Ron. Trump is dealing with the heat on his behind. For some reason, I feel like the heat is really aggravating Trump's health. It might be that he had COVID. He had the bad kind of COVID. You might remember if you were watching me back then, I thought Trump was going to die when he got COVID. The cards for him when he got COVID, and I don't predict death, but when he got COVID, October 1st, I remember the date, 1st or 2nd of 2020. That was one of those psychic impressions that was like, whoa, that is so just, it felt like it was on its way to happening. But I'm kind of thinking, all right, am I picking up on Trump suffering with this heat? Oh, thank you for giving me the thumbs up. Am I picking up on that because his health is compromised? It's because his health is compromised. His rotten soul is surfacing. Hey, Terry. Terry, I told you I'd be outside today, but I couldn't get it together. But I am scoping out outdoor locations to live stream from at least a couple nights over the summer. Some beautiful spots here. Is Trump suffering from health conditions presently? Yes, he's suffering from health. He's suffering from some health issues presently. Is the heat aggravating his health? So he's got health conditions that are being really aggravated by the heat. And the other thing that I'm picking up on is he loves to play golf all the time. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I certainly wouldn't be outside playing golf in this heat, even in New Jersey. And so if he's not able to distract himself with playing golf, he's losing his mind. Because it's not like he's doing like what Jimmy Carter did, like building Habitat for Humanity houses and all that, right? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to ask again, even though I asked the other night, speaking of residents of Florida, how much longer is the campaign of Ron DeFascist going to last? Is it going to be one more week? Is Ron DeFascist going to last campaigning for 2 more weeks? 3 more weeks? Right on target. Okay, so August 14th, mid-August, I think he's going to throw in the towel. You saw people playing golf today. Where are you? Betty, I forget where you live. I mean, I'm sweating now and there's a breeze coming in, so I can't imagine being out in the middle of the day on a hot, sun beating down on you golf course. That's just asking for it. You gotta drink a lot of water. I think I get up in the morning, I have a liter of water, and then I'm still drinking water through the day. Okay. I'm very good at timing. Oh, thank you, Earth Mama. It's the trickiest thing to predict. It really is the trickiest thing to predict. Like I said, I had thought that the war in Ukraine would have ended in February of this year, because I did detect a really strong energy shift, and we'll look at Ukraine. We'll look at that tonight too. No guarantees that I'm going to have a short video tonight, because after all, it's Friday Night Live, and that's when we have our Friday Night Live party. So this is kind of just for show. Gloria's saying she never got notified. Just remember that it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7, right after 7, like pretty much on the nose. So if I'm not going to be here some night, I'll let you know. I was going through some things in my office, and I found my cards that I love. So we're going to use the Cosmic Tarot, which I haven't used for a while. They were stashed away in a bag, and I was just like, oh yeah, let me see what's in this bag. It's amazing when you go through things that you've kind of pushed to the back of a closet. More ways than one, right? It's party time! It's definitely party time. Tell your friends. Text somebody right now and tell them to come to the psychic party. And thank you, Sharon, for both wielding the wrench and putting my contact information up. You so need to unwind. Yes, good. This is where we do that. Get the watermelon out. We started this thing where we're always talking about watermelon. I'm just going to digress to let you know that I read an article about watermelons. Do you guys know? I don't know if this is true, but this is what I heard. You're awesome. Thank you for putting my information up. So, a little watermelon talk for a sec. It's watermelon season. Have you heard of this? We're under the watermelon vodka. Thank you, Thomas. Aw, where's my bell? Thank you, I appreciate that. I moved my bell. Oh wait, I'll give you the Liberty Bell. You get the Liberty Bell. This is a gift from a viewer. Thank you for your donation. So what I heard about a watermelon is if you're going watermelon shopping, you look at the watermelon, and if, there's like a white stripe down. I haven't tried this, I just read it. There's a white stripe that goes down, it has stripes. If the stripe is like 2 finger widths, which is probably about 1 inch, right, wide, then that should be a good watermelon. I know, isn't this a great bell? Thank you to my viewer in Montana who didn't give me her name. Anyway, I heard that. Have you heard that? We're going to pick 3 cards. We're going to pick 3 cards on, Trump is trying to get out of trouble like he always is. Now, we're going to read on him right now. We're going to read on Trump's mental state because this has never happened to him before. It's never happened to Trump before that he attempted to delay a case. It's never happened to Trump that he hasn't been able to bully his way through a court case. And they don't have a yellow bottom, they're not right. Oh, we're still talking about watermelons. So Trump doesn't know how to navigate these waters where he doesn't get what he wants. Watermelon may have the same properties as Viagra. Well, that are you just making that up, Thomas? I won't say anything about how much you bring up watermelon, but it is a party, people. So Trump has never been here before. He's never been where he's like, this is what I need. I need this pushed off until after the election. He's never been in a position where somebody said no and that stood. Right? Am I right? He's never been, oh, I don't know the cantaloupe trick. Maybe someone knows a tip about cantaloupes. It really stinks when your cantaloupe isn't sweet. He's never been in a position where somebody said no and it stood. Trump needs to be in jail. That's the understatement of the year, right? Trump should have been in jail on January 7th, 2021. Let's be real. Yeah, he's asking the court to prohibit the Georgia DA from using any of the grand jury testimony against him. What a doofus. I mean, come on. He really... Some people come into this lifetime with a really strong imprint of a past lifetime where they just... And Ron DeFascist is one of these people. Thank you, Maria. Ron DeFascist is one of these people that came into this lifetime. What's this about Trump? No one's ever... He's never been so disabled in terms of legally where the prosecutor just says no and the courts say no. He's never been here before. There are some people that have such strong imprints in their soul blueprint from a past lifetime that they can't help. And I've talked about Ron DeFascist about this before. I've talked about him this way before with Ron DeFascist. He had a lifetime where he was such a strong dictator that he can't grasp that he's not in that lifetime anymore. And for Trump, it's the same. And if you've been following me, I've always gotten that Trump was Mussolini. I'll ask my pendulum. Was Trump Mussolini? Yeah. So just he's trying to get out of this court thing. So Trump was Mussolini, and Ron DeFascist. I don't think I figured that out. We were talking about that one night, and we came up with who he probably was. But anyway, Ron DeFascist was a dictator, fascist in a past lifetime, and he cannot shake it. And let me just say about past lifetimes, if you need to get over a trauma from a past lifetime, and I tell clients this all the time, because we have trauma from past lifetimes, and we have trauma in our DNA from our family lineage in addition, and we incarnate into the same family line about 70% of the time. So those two go hand in hand. Strong imprints from a past lifetime, and sometimes you were in the same family. You could be your own great-great-great-grandparent or aunt or uncle. So if you want to get past a trauma from a past lifetime, I suggest to people all the time to tell your soul self, to just say, soul self, that was then, this is now. Because a lot of trauma we bring in from other lifetimes. That was then, this is now. As far as Trump goes, well, he doesn't think in those kinds of terms, obviously. If he thought in like a spiritual term, he wouldn't be the heinous person that he is. So for Trump to say, oh, I'm not in that lifetime anymore, or Ron DeSantis to say, well, I'm not in that lifetime anymore, it's a different world that I'm in this time, it's a different time in history, then they might snap out of it. Will Trump end up the same way that Mussolini did? Well, I don't think they're going to hang him upside down in the town square, but let's ask this. Will the people... Trump's signature looks like knives to you. Thank you for you guys are so generous this evening. Thank you. Somebody told me that Trump's signature is exactly like Mussolini's. And I'm not going to look it up right now, but I have a picture of Mussolini that looks like it's a spitting image. Seriously. We have a lot of birthdays tonight. I see a lot of birthday wishes. Are the people going to turn on Trump the way they turned on Mussolini? Is that what's going to happen? No, not the way they turned on Mussolini. But let's ask it like this, because they executed him. Are the people going to turn on Trump, like in general, the way that they turned on Mussolini? Well, there's some good news. Their signatures match, so Trump's signature and Mussolini's match. Next time I'll show you again the picture that I have of Mussolini that looks like a spitting image. The people will turn on him. And I know it's hard to believe that. I know it's hard to believe that the people, but enough people will turn on Trump. It's already starting to happen. In terms of the people in his, huge circle of criminals, they're saving themselves. The Seagulls and Betty agree. Hey Betty, how's it going back there? Pretty good, she said. I'm psychically, I'm telepathically connecting with Betty the Bunny and Benny. Okay. Yeah, I heard that. I mean, look that up. But if you just Google Benito Mussolini, you will see pictures of him. Or if you happen to be able to find video, on Curiosity Stream, they had video of World War II. And they have, like black and white kind of scratchy video of Mussolini. And you can't even believe the body language, the way he juts his jaw out, all the same. Just really, really wild. Alright, so pulling 3 cards about his emotional state. Trump's emotional state. Please hit the thumbs up, and thank you for hitting the thumbs up. And please subscribe. Why not? I can't guarantee you'll get a notification bell that comes up, but I have no control over. I do my best. Anyway, let me tell you what's going on in Trump's mind. He still thinks he's still conniving. He's still conniving. He's still in his head thinking that he still can call himself president. He's not in the White House, so he knows he's not the president. But he really feels that he still can call himself president. The 7 of Pentacles is he's out of funds. This is Trump. He's out of funds. He's delusional. I think he tells himself that he's still legitimately the president to cope. It's a way that he copes. Denial, right? And this is January 6th. Cumulatively, he's complete. Legally, Trump is sunk. Trump is sunk. I will show you something though. Because this made me laugh so hard. And I did repost it on my community page, but you may have missed it. He's out of funds. Oh no, he's out of funds. Look. Trump is out of funds. He's out of funds. It's all a smoke and mirrors show. Maria Rodriguez, I thought your birthday was the last weekend this month. Are you milking it? That's what you're doing. I'm sorry, I just outed you. Take all the birthday wishes you can the whole month. This is it. Jim Kim 95 _ girl dad. I don't know who it is, but I found it on Threads. Yes, I went ahead and signed up. I kind of had to. We got to get the word out about grassroots of democracy. It says, no, really, he lost and you're in a cult. It says, no, really, he lost and you're in a cult. I don't know if these hats are available. I will keep you posted. I just found it on Threads. Really funny as hell. And also, if you really want the short version of what happened to America, they got sucked into a cult. And that's not hyperbole, it's actually true. But I was driving behind a truck today and it had a Trump sticker on it. And but it was from 2020, so I'm hoping that person came to their... Oh, they are available? Those hats are available? Oh, cool. Yeah, I had to go on Threads. So I'm driving behind this truck and I see the Trump sticker. I don't see them very much where I live, but I do see them occasionally. And I started to just kind of reflect on how that will get to a point. If you have been flying the Trump flag and have had Trump stickers and and he gets indicted again and starts talking like he doesn't have a brain, and you have a Trump sticker on you, let's think about this. People that you want to, like I love Prince, I love Neil Young, I feel proud to wear, I don't have a Prince shirt, I should get a Prince shirt. But anyway, you know what I mean. You want to wear, merch that makes you feel good about yourself. Like, okay, I'm cool because Prince was cool, for example. So at a certain point, people are not going to be able to feel good with a Trump sticker on their car, right? I love Neil Young. Neil Young is my hero, and I recorded my record in the studio where he recorded Prairie Wind. Anyway, I digress. But since I mentioned music, I just want to say to you, I'm playing out tomorrow night, and I'm going to be live streaming it on YouTube. 8 p.m. Eastern time. I hired the streamography business. I'll be live streaming my concert. Well, I'm calling it a concert. It's a block party on YouTube tomorrow night. Tell your friends. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, don't you want to wear something that you're proud of the person? If you want to wear a shirt that has somebody's name on it, that you want people to see you as kind of being in alignment with that person? Is it just me? Glenn, you're filling in for Chuck Hepner. I miss Chuck Hepner. He used to be in here with the quotes all the time, and then he got shut down by one of my viewers, and I hope his feelings didn't get hurt. Yeah, tomorrow night I'm singing at the block party, and we're going to be live streaming, and everything should work perfectly because I hired somebody. Whew. I'm all sweaty. Okay. We're on to fascists. We got how Trump is. We'll go back to Trump in a second. Because I'm just dying to know how Ron DeFascist is doing right now. Emotionally. On Wednesday night, I told you that I saw him being interviewed, and that he was being asked why Ron is not able to connect with people, and he looked like he was going to cry. I think you want a shirt with Joe Biden on it, right? Yeah, sure. I like anything Neil Young does. It's NEIL. Don't you want to wear merch that, t-shirts and hats that's somebody you want people to see you like that person? Do you know what I'm talking about? Am I just talking to myself right now? Ron DeFascist. Donny Osmond is coming to the Weir and Foxwoods. That's here. Gloria, where do you live again? Okay, anyway, Ron DeFascist. Very challenging. 5 of Wands is very challenging. I did get that Ron was looking for big donors. He's losing donors. The 9 of Wands. Well, one thing that Ron and Dawn have in common, they have a strong ability. I don't know if this is a positive for them. Ron and Dawn have in common, they have a strong ability to self-deceive. Murdoch is ditching to Satan. He already did. That was a while ago. So this is really challenging for Ron DeFascist. Extremely. I think he's going to drop out because this is a celebration card for us. You thought Florida had a good Republican campaign machine? Well, listen to me. Listen to this. If you are like a billionaire or multimillionaire and you're a staunch Republican and you want a Republican to win, and you see Ron going out there on not only the national stage but the international stage, and nobody likes him because he cannot connect with people, would you continue to want to fund him? Because if his numbers aren't even going up, then they're giving Rick Scott money now? Oh, yikes. So Rick Scott's the one that, I saw him on the news show. Rick Scott was warning people that if you're woke or something to that effect, if you're from like Vermont or, Massachusetts, of course, that really, Rick Scott, are you talking about Rick Scott or Tim Scott? Rick Scott was actually issuing like a muted death threat to liberals who might want to come to Florida. Right? We're talking about, I know people say Tim or, me too. I miss Chuck Hepner's quotes too, so if you're out there, Chuck, we want you back. The sand. Oh my gosh, the sand! That means I have to do my commercial. When the sand runs down, I have to do my commercial. Rick Scott. Yeah, Rick Scott, right? That's what you're talking about. Because people have been saying, if Ron DeFascist drops out, which he will next month, that they think that Tim Scott would be a good replacement. Let me tell you something. There are too many racist Republicans for that to work. I'm just laying it out there. There are too many Republicans that are racist for... It's a sad state of affairs. We all know that. For Tim Scott to get very far at all. Oh, Earth Mama thinks the Republican frontrunner of the time next summer will be Glenn Youngkin. We'll take a look at who it might be. Anyway, so I see us celebrating it, but Ron DeFascist is going to continue to pull the wool over his own eyes and tell himself that he's going to win. That it's just going to keep going. This is really, it's a sad state of affairs, it is. This is really indicative of a malignant narcissistic personality, where rather than face the truth, he can't handle the truth. So he's really got himself in a deceived state. Yeah, he's another Clarence. He's similar in that way. But I actually feel like Clarence Thomas does. Clarence Thomas is more aware. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything positive about Clarence Thomas. I think he's a little smarter than DeSantis. Hydrate. Everyone, raise your glass and hydrate. That's wrong. Oh, it's time for my commercial break. Hang on. Who reminds you of Herschel Walker? Tim Scott? Nah, nobody's like Herschel Walker. I'm sorry. I think Herschel Walker broke the mold. Here I'm being so good, I'm doing my commercial. This is, what's going on? Spiritual Boot Camp. It's not too late. It's not too late to sign up, but the deadline is tomorrow morning. If you want to sign up for Spiritual Boot Camp, we have six classes left. It's a 7-class course. Here are the things we cover. And you get a recording of the first class that you missed. Okay? Commercial break. Thanks for letting people know, in case you're just jumping on. Tomorrow tomorrow's class is about divination. If you don't know what that is, you have to sign up and join the class. You have to sign up for all the weeks, all at once. Dowsing with pendulums, and I also purchased some dowsing rods, so we're going to get into that too. They got delivered today. I don't have them yet, but we're also covering tarot, clairvoyance, law of attraction, mediumship, and more. So, Spiritual Boot Camp or Spiritual Summer School, go to psychicannettedion.com to register, to sign up, to pay for it and sign up. Tarot and tea leaf readings, I have 30 years experience doing what I'm doing. So, if you need guidance and clarity, and who doesn't need that? Book a tarot reading. I'm also offering tea leaf readings. I haven't been reading the tea leaves lately for PNN because it's just too damn hot to have tea. Maybe I'll do iced tea leaf readings. There's an idea. I might do that. My schedule's wide open if you need a reading, by the way. Not tomorrow, but, next week. It's wide open. Wide open. You barely have to wait. Grassroots of Democracy meets 3 times per week, including tomorrow. Join us. Save us from fascism. We've been meeting since January 22, and we're getting a lot of work done. Build a democracy habit. Go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com. And last but not least, Church of Spirituality happens every single Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you watch Church of Spirituality, your whole life will improve. And that concludes my commercial break. And now it's time to flip the half-hour glass. And if I had some watermelon, I would have a slice of watermelon right now. I just want to give you a general sense of what's going on with the collective psyche in America. Now, Youngkin's not a good person. What's happening with the collective psyche in America is the more that the fascists in the Republican Party keep dishing out hatred, especially, thank you, Barbara, especially in light of what we're going through with this heat. We'll get to the actors' strike too. I already did read on that, and I got September, but we'll take a peek. The American people, the collective energy it's very heated up, not just temperature-wise, but emotionally very heated up. And it's kind of like, really, in the midst of all this, you're going to be telling us to hate on each other? We're having floods. We're having hurricanes. We're having tornadoes. We're having a heat dome that's lasted weeks and weeks on end. Death Valley in California hit the highest temperature in recorded history. And really, you're going to be talking about hating on each other in the face of what we're facing, where people are literally dying from the heat. The collective energy in America is really just beginning to be WTF. We have all these problems to solve, and that's what you're talking about, like Eric Swalwell at the clown hearing, saying, I don't know, we're like all these problems that we have to address, and they're talking about Hunter Biden's laptop. Yeah, not only stupid, it is stupid, and it's like, I'm just talking about the collective energy of the American people. It's just beginning to be WTF. That's what you guys are talking about. We need help. And that's going to push, because I really got the sense today that the tipping point is getting really close. And what I mean by the tipping point is it's getting to a place where enough people will have had enough of the idiocy. Let's read on that real quick. They're wasting our money and time. And I don't know if you guys saw it. I mean, it's bad when you see clips of these clowns. It's bad when you see clips of these clowns and you go, "Oh, don't do that." You know what I mean? Oh, don't do that. Gross. Jim Jordan was being interviewed by Sean Hannity. A couple of the people that we watch on YouTube covered this, including Midas Touch, I think. Jim Jordan short circuits, forgets what he's talking about, because, and I said that the other night, I said that on Wednesday. They'll start to confuse, it's already happening. It's been happening. They get confused about their stories. If you lie that much, you get lost in the lie and it loops back around. You start telling the truth, for one thing. And Jim Jordan, what do I call him? Hamada. Jim Jordan. He lost his mind. I almost thought he was going to lose consciousness or something. Well, he lost his brain. Hamada. Oh, yeah, Terry, thank you. I just answered that. Do I see more lawsuits against Fox? Yes. Jim, Mr. No Jackets. Yes! And that's why I was talking about, the people that are going around with these Trump stickers, and then they look at him and it's like, do I really want to identify with that? Let's ask he couldn't get the words, he couldn't get his lies out. Jim Jordan couldn't get his lies out. I think he got mixed up about what lie to tell. There's a storm brewing in the Atlantic. There's always going to be a storm brewing in the Atlantic. We'll get to that. Is Jim Jordan going to get in trouble with the law? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Electra storm, which hurricane are you referring to? If you've been following me, who is Pinocchio? George Santos? We don't know, that's why we call him Pinocchio. Jim Jordan, he's in big trouble. That's why he can't, I don't think he's sleeping. I think he can't think straight. Who was the other one? There was somebody that really seems like they're under the influence. Matt Gaetz. We'll read on the weather. Matt Gaetz. Yeah, Warren. I'm going to have to do 3 cards on Matt Gaetz. Marshmallow McCarthy. I'm referring to Matt Gaetz. Matt's nose is a giveaway. What did you see about his nose? They're all under the influence. I'm talking about the influence of some kind of a substance. Could be anything, right? Is Matt Gaetz under the influence? Yeah. Yeah, hello, it's 111 degrees here. Linda, where are you? I forgot. Well, because I'm on YouTube, I don't want to get into what he's on. So let's just. Matt Gaetz he's a party animal. Matt Gaetz is a party animal. And Las Vegas is, that's where you are? 111 degrees in Las Vegas, and there's no relief in sight. Is Matt Gaetz under the influence of a stimulant? It's a stimulant. So, yeah, it's a stimulant. Only 90 in Los Angeles. Will McCarthy give up the speakership? McCarthy should have been out last month. I don't know what the delay is. And I'm not sure who would replace him. Warren, do you know who would be next in line? Or do they have to vote on that? I think they have to vote on it. Gates said we should let Russia into NATO to protect against China. He's on drugs. I mean, honestly. They're just saying, Matt does look like a serial killer. I agree. Truer words hardly ever spoken. These people are scary. And Gosar is another who looks like a serial killer. I mean, it's real, like, honestly. He's sickening. But we're going to read on Matt Gaetz. I know, I'm going in. It's going to be 118 on Sunday, record breaker. I don't know if you guys remember a few months ago, I said this summer, I just, it's horrifyingly scary. And I've also said many times that we won't get on board with combating global climate change until we're dying. And that's going to be, I don't mean you guys are going to die, I'm just like, we're going to know people are dying from the heat. We are not going to get on board with a turnaround on the carbon situation, the carbon dioxide emissions. We're not going to get a handle on it until we have to. And to give you some hope, we have all the technology that we need to combat this. Some of the damage is too far done, but we do have enough technology to save ourselves if we act. I'm reading on Matt Gaetz. Please hit the thumbs up. If it's not too much trouble, stop big oil. Yes, we have to stop that. I mean, these fascists in the Republican Party, and there are way, well, one is too many, but there are way too many of them. They couldn't be any more revolting. And for that, in a way, it's a good thing that their putrid smell is so obvious. Thank you, Gloria. Matt Gaetz, is trying to hide. Matt Gaetz is trying to hide what sexual crimes he's committed. Know that the cards are just symbolic. Matt Gaetz is trying to hide the sex crimes, but the Tower card is coming for him, and he knows it, and he's gotten wind of it, and he has an idea that it's happening. Did YouTube update again? Why is there a here next to where you type? Bad enough I don't have my glasses on. That doesn't make sense. Sorry, it's hard for me to follow sometimes. A heart. There's a heart next to your, what? There's a heart next to your name? Well, you know, if there's a heart next to my name, I'd be good with that. That's not a bad thing to be associated with. So yeah, the Tower card for Matt Gaetz. He knows it's coming. I really get that he knows it's coming. It's for the sex crimes. When, please? I actually don't think this thing is working right. Just so you know. You press it and hearts fly up. I love it. I didn't see them. Many of you like, oh, thank you. Stay on as long as you like and then pop off. You can't miss anything because there's replay. Thank you, Joanne, for reminding people of that. Texas is building solar farms despite big oil. Yeah, well, what's going to happen, too, is like, I'm glad you said that, because what I'm feeling is that collectively, and this is going to happen this year, collectively, the people of the United States of America, the ones who have the wherewithal, who know what's going on, who watch these heinous characters who are destroying everything. I've been on for 47 minutes, thank you. I think it's been a little longer than that. That are destroying everything. It's going to get to a point where the American people say, really? My whole life is gonna be at risk because of your idiocy. Look at the gun violence situation. The American people collectively are going to get to a point where it's gonna be a collective thing, where we all decide that we're not gonna let them let us die. And we're not going to let them let hate dominate. Here it is. We know what democracy is because we've been in a democracy. Is my sands of time buffering? When someone says buffer, I panic. No, it's just, I think it's probably the heat. I think probably the glass expanded in the heat, and so it's slower. So it's going to get to that point where we say, who made them God, right? Who put them in charge of our lives? That's, yes, money doesn't outweigh human lives. It will get to a point. Yeah, Terry, they were asking me if my half-hour glass was buffering. Time for a drink. It will get to a point. Because when it comes, I was thinking earlier about the abortion bans and the trans bans and the gay people bans and all, and I'm thinking about all that. And my next thought was, and it's not the first time I've thought this, everybody, because we're all a diverse, humanity. We all have somebody that we know that's gay, or maybe you're gay, or maybe you're trans, or, maybe you're an immigrant, or all of us really, unless you're a Native American, your ancestors are immigrants, myself included. You're not going to go for hating the people that you love. If you have, your best friend is gay, if your best friend happens to be gay, maybe you're not gay, but your best friend happens to be gay, and you got Rhonda Fascist out there going, oh, you might as well just say we hate gay people. You're not going to align with that. Well, we're not going to align like that. I mean, we're not going to align with that. We're not going to go along with, you know what? Say you have a sibling that happens to be gay or trans, right? And then you've got Rhonda Fascists up there going, oh, we need to ban, child mutilation. Well, listen to the things that they're saying. You're not going to vote for that. Well, we need to vote in large numbers like never before. Yes, Thomas, that's absolutely true. At Grassroots of Democracy, what we say first and foremost at our meetings is what we're working on is voting rights. Demonstrate like they do in France. Oh, and happy Bastille Day, by the way. It's today, right? Some of the best people you know. I'm just saying, if there's somebody who's really, really, really close to you, like a family member, and you have these candidates for president or whatever going, oh, we don't want you here. What are this? Oh, John, thank you. You're so sweet. I guess you donated right before I went off last time and I missed it. So double thank you. I really appreciate it. It really does lift me up. So much. That's not going to fly. That's not going to fly. We don't hate each other. If we're normal, and believe it or not, there's more normal people than crazy people. Than mean people. There's more nice people than mean people. Yeah, John, what a sweetheart. Thank you. Liberty Bell. A bell for John, and for all of you, too. The stupid propaganda movie is about to hit the theaters. It's a disgrace. The only people they're appealing to are people with hidden anger that they cannot admit that they have. That has nothing to do with other people. Warren, why are you saying P.O. Box? Since I'm talking about this, I'm pulling cards without realizing I'm pulling cards, but let's pull cards about this hatred. DeSantis does feel pretty battered, and he almost started crying during an interview. P.O. Box 5295. Gloucester, Mass. 01930. The Eight of Cups, this is not going to work for them. The hatred and the bans, it's not going to work for them. Joe Biden and Kamala are going to be riding high. Riding high with Biden. It's not going to work. It's really getting old. It's not going to work. And, you guys are just like me. You don't want to see people bullied. You don't want to see people hated on. You don't want to see people suffer, right? And we will not stand by and just let it happen. DeSantis is an embarrassment to Virgos. Well, every sign has an evil side, right? Every sign has a bad side. We just have to focus on the good. Patty, where you been? You've missed me. I've been here. I haven't gone anywhere. Nope. Even when I go away, I'm still showing up here. I'll be live streaming from a different location at least one day, the last week of July. At least one day. Biden is a man with a plan, and he's executing his plan. Let's read on Biden. What do you say? You know that guy Biden? He's kind of tallish. He's 80. He's in good shape. He's in really good health. And he just knocked it out of the park with getting Sweden now, not only Finland, but Sweden into NATO, and making the allies, the democracy stronger and tighter. Patty's been gone. Well, I'm glad you're back. We're going to read on Joe Biden. Let's see, let's ask this. How's he feeling? How's Joe Biden feeling? He's such a treasure. He really is such a treasure. And I love the way, true to the Scorpio that he is. This is Scorpio energy. I'm just going to do the task. It's like, he doesn't get distracted. I think about Joe Biden, I think of him being the bus driver on this bus of unruly children, and he just has to keep the bus on the road. Where's my Biden aviator glasses? They're in my my bag, and I can't really wear them because I can't see through them because there's American flags on them. I'll get a better pair. We'd be riding with Biden. Anyway, so interesting. I'm reading on Joe Biden. Jesse the jerk was trying to make it look like Joe was being ignored overseas. A far cry from that. Jesse the jerk. Who's Jesse? Jesse Waters. Jesse on Fox is trying to be Tucker Carlson, and nobody can be Tucker Carlson because Tucker Carlson broke the mold, and thank God he did. Because we don't want another Tucker. Let's see. This is Joe Biden. Very strong. Very strong. As I'm holding up the card, I see Betty just wrote it before I even held it up. Biden is very strong. We really need to start writing to MSNBC and CNN and all the news. And by the way, CNN's getting a little bit better. I'm not watching it. They have to redeem themselves from Chris Licht, that heinous CEO that they finally got rid of. Should I tell you there's a nice cool breeze coming in? I'm sorry, I won't rub it in. Biden is strong, and Biden has on his mind January 6th. Not that he's affecting or influencing the DOJ, because he's completely not doing that. But he's aware. You wrote to MSNBC? Good. I write to MSNBC all the time and tell them to stop it with the ageism. And what I wrote the last time, which was just a couple days ago to MSNBC, I wrote, I don't care if Biden ends up needing help getting dressed. And I don't know. I forget what I said, but I don't care. I don't care. God forbid he's in a wheelchair just telling people, how to do the job. But I don't care. It doesn't matter. We want Biden's brain. We want Biden's experience and his amazing ability to just reach across the table, to negotiate. He got Turkey to say okay for Sweden. Who does that? Who's able to do that? Just Biden. Anyway, what Biden has on his mind, even though he doesn't have any influence over the DOJ, but he did appoint Merrick Garland because he's the president, and that's what he did. And he knows that January 6th, there's a lot of judgment. There's a lot of judgments coming about the insurrectionists. Joe Biden knows that January 6th is going to sink the fascist Republican Party. That's what I feel like. Joe Biden just knows that the DOJ knows about the Republicans that are illegitimately holding seats in our government that were part of the planning of the insurrection. And we might know that too, but he seems to know that that's going to be the end for them. Oh yeah, FDR was in a wheelchair. No, but I wrote something to that effect to MSNBC. I was like, I don't care if Biden ended up in a wheelchair and needing help getting dressed, he can still be president. as long as he has his faculties. He's intuitive. He's intuitive and he's strategic, and he's like Jack Smith in the strategizing. He's very gifted at it. Oh me, oh my! Look, my half-hour glass. Betty's gonna vote for Biden. There's a gazillion questions I could ask, and so I want you to put up a question, and if somebody puts up a question that I just feel like, yes, we have to answer that, that's what we'll do. And actually, I did a couple things I said I would read on. One is global climate change, and one is Ukraine. So, I'm not doing tea leaves, it's too hot for tea. Question about Canon. What do you want to know about Canon? I don't need cards for that. Well, I don't need cards for anything, but I'm just saying I already have my take on Canon. All right, so Aileen Cannon. She doesn't want to piss Jack Smith off. That's it. I just read on Biden. Your phone's about to die. Okay, bye, Kathy. Charge your phone first. Charge your phone before 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to read on Ukraine. Indictments. I thought indictments would be this week. They're very, very close. For all we know, you could turn on the TV and find out, within the next hour or so. 45 told her he would appoint her Supreme Court. Appoint who? Oh, Eileen. What are you saying? Oh, Trump told Aileen Cannon that he'd appoint her to the Supreme Court? Oh, gag me. Gross. Ukraine is good. I'm gonna read on Ukraine. You hate the timer? Well, look at how much I'm obeying the timer right now. By the way, it didn't work. Just so you know, that was an experiment and my numbers didn't go up anyway. So you gotta tell your friends and subscribe if you haven't already. Hunter Biden sent a letter to Trump basically telling him to shut up or he'll sue. I think he already did that, right? That's what you're saying? Ukraine. Now that Ukraine has the support, even stronger support from the United States via, NATO, through what just happened with NATO, even though it's been hard, it's been unspeakably hard for Ukraine, Ukraine now has the necessary strength to, I just want to say, to take out Putin. This is Russia. Pray for the Russian people. This is hard on the Russian people. And, a little prayer of gratitude and humility that you're not in a war-torn area or in a country that's being run by a dictator. So, Patty has idiot family members. Well, they're in a cult, if that's what you're referring to, the Trump cult. So, it's so hot in Houston, women baked bread. I know somebody who's in Texas, baked bread in her brick mailbox. It took 45 minutes. Interesting. Anyway, about Ukraine. Who will Republicans push when Trump and DeSantis go down? All right, I guess I'm staying longer. Ukraine. This is Russia. This is Ukraine. Ukraine has the necessary, yay Ukraine. I'm just going to put it on. This is from one of my viewers also. Bread in the mail. Oh, I know somebody who's in Texas right now. I forgot to ask her to see if she could fry an egg on the sidewalk. I'm sure. I bet you if you're in Las Vegas, if you're in Las Vegas right now, If you get a little frying pan and you put an egg in, it's early-ish there, right? It's still hot. You could probably fry an egg pretty quick too. Thank you, Patty. Wait, Terry just asked me a question and I lost it. Okay, wait, I'm not really, I kind of can't get into the icky energy of Youngkin and JD Vance right now. I've had enough ick for tonight with Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan, and, you know. We might read on McCarthy though, not that he's not ick. But there's different levels of ick. You fried an egg for your granddaughter to show her how hot it is. Did you put it in a little pan? I mean, we'll save the ick for Monday, right? You did see an egg being fried in the sidewalk years ago? Oh, I bet it would be pretty quick. Crack an egg on the hood of a car. Pretty soon we'll see videos of people making breakfast on the hood of their car. Eggs, anyone? Omelets? What the heck am I reading on? I totally forgot. You have done it. Yeah. I shouldn't laugh. But we do have to make jokes once in a while. I was gonna read on I just read on Ukraine. Did you miss it? McCarthy? Yeah, hang on. The writer's strike. I want to remind you, what I said about the writer's strike is that I see it being resolved in September. I think the last time I said August, but I'm feeling like closer to September. And what we're going to read about right now, because this is all about greed. This is about, I know, I have a family member who's a makeup artist for the movies. There's a lot of movies come here. Out of work. It's bad. You had to resubscribe? Oh dear. I wonder my numbers are so far down. Anyway, so the actors, I feel like that, good for them. Good for them. Because the greed is out of control. So what I'm going to read, I said that I thought they'd come to some resolutions. Good for them for striking. Because they have to. Yeah, no, that's not gonna do. I mean, the greed is out of control. Don't they know that they're gonna go to hell with all this greed? All these CEOs and studios they just want more and more and more and more and more. The strike is about that they're not being paid fairly. That's what all union strikes are about, right? Pretty sure, and like conditions too. This is about the writer's strike. Oh, I feel bad for my family member who she's out of work. That's what she does. She's a makeup artist. Anyway. It's going to be hard for a while. The greedy ones are just going to be really, really, really stubborn. It's out of control, and it's across the board. The greed is across the board, out of control in every corporation and every organization. It's going to be tough, but they're going to hold out. And I actually see the community in California, the communities of California, having like GoFundMes and helping them out so that they can stand their ground. And then they're going to come to the corporate is going to come to the table. Thank you for your donations. It's unbelievable. The greed is it's way out of control, and nobody wins. When the greed continues the way it has, nobody wins. The King of Wands, I do see somebody very prominent. It looks like a celebrity who's going to be like the figurehead, the spokesperson. A couple people come to mind. One is George Clooney and the other is Matt Damon. Is it either of them? It's one of them. I feel somebody who's like like the person who's kind of spearheading the whole thing or being at the forefront. Just for the sake of entertainment, let's see. Is it George Clooney? It's not George Clooney. I was just throwing a couple names out there. Is it? Oh, it's a labor strike for now. Okay. Labor strike where the unions didn't say boycott movies or TV shows, etc. yet. Well, let's ask this. Oh, you saw Clooney speak out today? I don't think it's going to be just him. I don't think he wants to be in the limelight. I don't think he's, is it Jon Stewart? No. Let's ask again. Is George Clooney going to be like the face of this? No. We'll just throw out a couple more names. Is Matt Damon. It looks like Matt Damon. So this is like people that are going to be, big time. Matt Damon, yeah. Tom Hanks. The people that are just going to stand up, like the actors. Will Tom Hanks be one? Yeah. I know, I miss the late shows. I used to just catch them afterwards. I'm picking up Matt Damon big time. Fran Dresser. Fran, not so much. You thought a cat was in trouble behind me? No, it's just seagulls. The other day, I don't know, they might be fighting. What are you guys doing? If this was smaller, I would just show you. They're hungry. They're looking for food. The other night, I had an extra like spring roll. Gull talk. This is seagull talk. Yeah, they're right behind me. There's two of them. So, the spring roll's about that big, right? So I threw it out. That's probably why they're back. He probably told his friends. And he just gulped it down like a boa constrictor. It was just one gulp. It's like, jeez. All right. I'm way over time, but who's counting? We just have a couple more things to read on. Oh, and I want to remind you, tomorrow is Spiritual Summer School. You should join. This is the first time I've taught everything I know. 30 years experience here, so you should really join. And I'm saying should, because I mean it. And also get a reading, psychic@AnnetteDion.com. And don't forget, and grassrootsofdemocracy.com, we do meet on Saturdays too. Be the seagull whisperer. Well, it's not hard to be a seagull whisperer because what they're always saying is, feed us, feed us, feed us. That's really what they're saying. We're hungry, feed us. They might be hot too. I finally jumped in the ocean today. It was great. Because it's not 95 degrees in the ocean here, which is good. So the writer's strike, there was one more thing. There was one more thing. Betty's leaving. See, you guys are leaving now, so it's probably time to close it down. And to go eat some watermelon. Don't forget to go eat some watermelon. Alright, I know I'm leaving something out, but I'm just going to... Tuberville, I'm not going to read on him, but let me give you the image that I got of him. I know it's a little crazy, but it was a very, very brittle energy, like he could just lose it at any time. Ice cream. Oh, that sounds pretty good too. I'm going to pick 3 community cards because McCarthy will let's save that for Monday. Remember, tomorrow night I'm doing a live stream concert. The tip jar will be ready. This too shall pass. Cleansing. community cards. And I might actually start making iced tea so I can read the tea leaves. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's when the concert is. I'm just playing a set at the block party, but we will be live streaming. 3 cards. Yogi Bear is here. The Ten of Wands. The heat over the weekend is. This is like these cards. The Ten of Wands and this deck is like. Does that look like a heat wave? This is the collective segment of the program. Everybody, this weekend, if somebody needs help with the heat, check on your elders. It's going to be rough. Check on people that are too proud. I know there's a generation, people in their 80s, most of them cannot admit they need help. So please check on the elders. Because I'm reading, these are collective community cards. Thank you, John. Again, the bottle drop is happening. Pay attention. These are times that we're going to have to help each other. And let me tell you something about that. These are the times where we're going to be so compelled, like this compulsion to help one another, the normal humans. That this ridiculousness that the fascists are pulling is going to be like, get out of our way. We have people, we have lives to save. Yeah. These are the collective cards for the weekend. The Six of Cups is like, we are family. We are going to start to come together because we have this heat crises to deal with. So, last time we checked on you, you were fine? Good. So check on the others. Make sure people are okay, and especially the elders who just, they don't admit it. They don't admit that they need help. Lead help or get out of the way. Yes, exactly. I love you all. You make my day every single time, so thank you for being here. Please join us for grassrootsofdemocracy.com. That's where you go to sign up. Join us tomorrow. We meet on Thursdays and Saturdays, and we have 20 on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, we do a guided meditation every single Tuesday, 20 minutes for healed America, for healing America and the world. It's a ripple effect. Church of Spirituality every single Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're not watching Church of Spirituality, you're missing an opportunity to make your life better. You even get chants that you can sing throughout your week that make your week go better. All right, thank you so much. I love you much. And thanks for the donations. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Apparently, some of you might need to resubscribe because YouTube is just a little nutty lately. And love you all. See you soon. Join me for the concert tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time.